Welcome to the Volvo XC90, and before going too far, I'd just like to say this is a beautiful car. Well done, Volvo, well done. In this review, I'm going to drive it around a traffic circle and then I'm going to connect it to a plug. We'll take it for a drive, talk about its cost of ownership and its practicality, and yes, I'm going to run. No, wait, that's from a different Volvo review. Anyway, coming back to the XC90, I have a lot of things to tell you, so allow me to give a quick shout out to my sponsor Hippo, and let us get started. This specific Volvo XC90 comes with a 2-liter Turbo Petrol Hybrid Engine. It produces 340 kilowatts and 709 Newton meters of torque. It's quick. It'll do 0 to 100 in 5.3 seconds. It has a claimed electric range of 77 kilometers. We'll talk more about that a bit later. And a claimed fuel consumption of 1.8 liters to the 100 when you're driving it in hybrid mode. One of the things I really love about this Volvo is that even though it's a plug-in hybrid, it's also a self-charging hybrid. You see, if you go to the infotainment system, you can choose to save your electric charge and drive it with the engine only, or you can put it on charge so that the engine charges your battery while you drive it. The reason why that is useful is because this Volvo doesn't have DC fast charging, which means this is not the kind of hybrid you drive to the mall, go shopping for an hour and then come out to a full battery. It takes over 7 hours to fully charge, so if you're buying the XC90, you need to know this is the type of hybrid you charge at home overnight. If you're wondering where this is, I actually went to a Volvo dealership to try and charge the car, and that's where they connected it for me to show me how long it takes to fully charge. So at that moment I knew I was leaving because I was not going to wait 8 hours. So to summarize my fuel consumption while the vehicle is charging the battery, I took this video. So after driving around for 259 kilometers, I have gained 43 kilometers of range. I've been averaging 9.8 liters to the 100, so that's not bad, especially since I was using the engine to charge the car. So if you can't charge overnight, you can use the car to charge, but it's not really recommended. But it's good to know the option is there. But in all honesty, if you can afford this Volvo, you probably live in a nice house with a proper garage, so charging it won't be an issue at all for you. And you know what else won't be an issue? Space. This Volvo is very practical. It's a proper family car. You have blinds in the rear seats and you have plenty of legroom. All of it is there. Your passengers in the rear have their own rear air vents, they have their own screen, they can choose their own temperature, and they have their own heated seats. If they have phones they'd like to charge, over there are 2 USB Type-C ports. If they'd like to rest their arms, there is a proper armrest with concealed cup holders. That's how you do it, Volvo. Thank you. And there is a 3rd row of seats. You can sit there if you want to, but it's really meant more for children. Yeah, it's tight back there. And you also need to be careful because, yay, that seat. Be careful. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, that's your legroom. And if you want a little bit more legroom, you can slide the forward seat a little bit forward for more space in the 3rd row. And if you're wondering why I'm wearing a white shirt, that's because I'm a doctor. Well, I'm not really a doctor, but I was told doctors drive Volvos, so I decided to dress like one. On that note, Muzi, here's a car. Here's a Volvo. You are a doctor. You should be driving a Volvo. To anyone with time, please just write in the comments, Muzi, please buy a Volvo. I just want to say something. Just write that for him. But anyway, I guess one of the reasons why doctors love Volvos is because of how safe they are. It comes loaded with safety features. It obviously has a 5-star NCAP safety rating. It not only has blind spot monitoring, but if you try to steer onto a lane that already has a car, the Volvo will help you steer back into your lane. It also has something called oncoming lane mitigation, which uses automatic steering assistance to bring you back into your lane so that you can avoid collisions with oncoming vehicles. The Volvo does so many things well. It has plenty other safety features I didn't mention, but as you're seeing right now, it is one of the best adaptive cruise control systems on the market. The attention to detail in this Volvo, especially when it comes to the safety systems, is really commendable. And to that I say, well done, Volvo. Well done. But if there's one thing I need Volvo to do for me is give this interior an update. Don't get me wrong, it's made of high quality materials, but that infotainment screen needs to go. It has wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, the air conditioning and everything else is in the infotainment system, so it's not very user friendly while you're driving. And whatever you do, never put your license there. Don't ask me how I know, but it will fall inside and you'll wonder where your license went. Don't say I didn't tell you. Anyway, coming back to your storage, if you open up that cover, you'll find 2 slots for your cups. You have wireless charging, and over there is a 12-volt socket. By the way, to start your Volvo, you twist that knob. Very unique. But by far, the coolest thing in this Volvo is the Bowers & Wilkins sound system. Oh, I give it a 10 out of 10. It is proper. I'm going to post a sound test on my Instagram stories. If you don't follow me on Instagram, just search for Mr. How Much. I'll also leave a link in the description, and I'll post another video on my TikTok as well. Also Mr. How Much, I'll also leave a link in the description. All in all, apart from the infotainment screen, everything else in the interior of the Volvo is excellent. It's a beautiful place to be. Even the seats are comfortable. They're electric, they're heated, they're ventilated, they're leather, and yes, you have a proper panoramic sunroof. Now, before we get to pricing, I'd just like to say, if you haven't liked this video, please like. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Support local YouTube, guys. It's the right thing to do. We are still on the road to 100,000 subs by July, so could you kindly share this video on your WhatsApp status? Tell your friends, your girlfriends, your boyfriends, your cousins, your uncles, your aunts, your relatives, your mothers, your father, anyone you know, that there's a Mr. How Much on YouTube. By the way, shout out to my good friend Emba for helping me film this video. I'll leave a link to his YouTube channel in the description below. As this Volvo is driving off, I know someone is saying, but he hasn't shown us the boot. Don't stress, I didn't forget. On one of the days we went to do some shopping, spent about 10 million on charcoal, water and tissue. But anyway, this car has air suspension, so before you load your boot, you can always lower it so that you don't strain yourself. Proper stuff. With the third row of seats folded, you have 640 liters of boot space, which is more than enough space for your eggs, water, milk, charcoal, and Cadbury's. Hey Cadbury, what's happening? And as you can clearly see, you have an electric tailgate. Wait for it. Volvo. I've been waiting a long time to say that. This Volvo XC90 is actually the top spec model. It is called the T8 Recharge Ultimate Dark All-Wheel Drive. It comes in at 1,808,000 Rand, and on finance it will cost you 35,347 Rand over 6 years at 12% interest. A full tank of petrol will cost you 1,784 Rand, and using Hippo, I was able to get an insurance code of 6,700 Rand. Yeah, I need to become a doctor soon. Anyway, if you'd like to get a code for this car or any other car, be sure to check out Hippo. I'll leave a link to their website in the description below. The nice thing with Hippo is you can compare different codes, choose the one you like, and when you talk to them, perhaps you can negotiate for a lower premium. With that said, our total cost of ownership comes to 43,831 Rand. Now let's talk about that price. At 1.8 million, there are so many other SUVs you could choose over this one, but this is meant to appeal to a different kind of person. It's for the multi-millionaire who's not too flashy. It's all about subtle wealth. Those who don't know won't know. But it's a good thing you watch Mr. How Much, because now you know that this is a proper premium SUV that is just as good, if not better, than all the other SUVs you are thinking of at this price point. For those of you who are interested in the Volvo, it comes with a 5-year 100,000 kilometer maintenance plan and a 5-year 100,000 kilometer warranty. Now before I end the review, there are a couple of things I didn't mention. You see the rear wheel? If you look closely, you might see the air suspension at work. In fact, that air suspension makes driving this Volvo a very comfortable experience. And it's not just the suspension. This XC90 also has all-wheel drive, which means it's very stable and very planted on the road. If you're a person who loves taking road trips, look no further, the XC90 has got you. And if you're not interested in this hybrid, there are also petrol-only engines that are available. And one more thing, because doctors love Volvos, I've decided to name this Volvo after a doctor. I've decided to name it Dr. Sambo. Hopefully this inspires him to get a Volvo, since he's a doctor. But from me to you, thank you so much for watching. Until the next one, take care. So I decided to take an electric car on a road trip. It's the Volvo XC40. It will form part of the Road to 100,000 series, and this video will be coming soon. We're pushing.
This man knows nice places. He lives here. This guy is rich.
Ah,
This guy is rich.